have here a scale, which many of you will recognize as one that we use to weigh out cookies for our internationally beloved cookies by the pound. Cookies may end up being yet another of the things that fall by the pandemic wayside for RVUMC this year. So many things, big and small, have fallen. The big, obviously, are the now over 200,000 American and nearly 970,000 worldwide lives ended by COVID-19. Also gone are millions of jobs and our ability to go to schools, churches, and basically any gathering as we please and as we're used to. The little things like church cookie sales are just that, little, though I have to admit that like so many little things, they do add up. If we can't have our cookie sales, lots of people in the community will miss our cookies. And the church will certainly miss the funds the cookies raise for us, on top of the funds from all the other fundraisers fallen by the wayside since March. The scale caught my attention this week after I was part of an Ulster Corps Glean team of volunteers yesterday at a research apple and pear orchard in Highland. The fruit will be shared with food pantries and feeding programs throughout the county. As we left, the leader was weighing each of the filled crates of fruit on a scale as she was loading them on the truck. I asked her roughly how much she thought it would amount to, and she said probably about 1,000 pounds. That's a lot of apples and pears, fruit that otherwise would have ended up joining the terrible 30 to 40% of food produced in the U.S. that ends up wasted. And it will now help nourish thousands of people. Also, it was a pleasant morning's labor from half a dozen volunteers, tops. Little things do add up. But scales this week also caught my attention because after the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg last Friday, there have been many images in the media of Lady Justice, the classical figure found in and around many courthouses worldwide, including the U.S. Supreme Court. You know her. Usually the figure is blindfolded, signifying impartiality, and holding a scale, symbolizing a commitment to the objective balancing of competing interests, the weighing of evidence. Often she also wields a sword, which symbolizes the decisive power behind the authoritative decisions of justice. And authority, power, and deciding how much weight to give to various considerations and people are really big issues right now. For that matter, deciding who even gets counted is a big issue. If you haven't already answered your census, do so right now. And though deciding whose votes even get counted shouldn't be an issue, it turns out it's a big one these days. But these are not just issues that sprung up overnight. Jesus had to confront prejudices about who counted in both the eyes of other people and of God in much of his teaching. You see him again and again in many of his encounters with the religious and legal experts of the day, the scribes and the Pharisees. Jesus challenges people who take for granted that they know who matters and they know just how the law should be interpreted. You have heard it said, but I say to you, is one of Jesus's ways of pushing people to understand their responsibility to discern their role in the big picture and to weigh their personal circumstances with their commitment to God and neighbor. Righteousness, justice, a right relationship with God are all basically the same root in the Greek New Testament. And they cannot be ordered up with a few clicks of a computer mouse for free delivery, packaged neatly 3 days from now. They should be our life's work, a work that is never considered finished. Many people have noted in the days following Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death that she died on the eve of the Sabbath and of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and that tradition says that one who dies on such a holy day is considered a tzaddik or tzaddiket, or a genuinely righteous person. As the remembrances and tributes have come in, people have consistently noted her thoroughgoing integrity and her unwavering dedication to the pursuit of justice. I think that more than the day of one's dying, the mundane days of one's living really determine who should be considered righteous or justified? Do you truly and genuinely believe? And do you honestly live according to what you say you believe? Those are everyday questions for people of faith. Perhaps the prophet Micah in the 8th century BCE, as we count it, puts it best. He has told you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God? Do justice, love kindness, walk humbly with your God. By the grace of God, we have our life's work cut out for us. Pound by pound, day by day, may we measure up.